survey conducted by Dr. H.W. Wiley in which he asked many health officials at many different levels whether they thought preservatives were injurious to the health. 218 out of 251 responded affirmatively. Keep in mind that multitudes of those preservatives that are injurious to the health are found in many of the foods you eat every single day. From research I've conducted on the adverse effects of preservatives and additives, and many alternatives and solutions I've found which you can use instead of eating these preservatives and additives, I've concluded that due to their increased health risk, we should try as a human population to stop buying and eating preservatives and additives in our food. In this speech, I will outline many examples of adverse effects that preservatives and additives can have on people in general, specifically to children, and alternatives or different measures we can take to stop eating these. It makes sense to start by explaining a couple of the effects some preservatives and additives can have. Firstly, it's important to understand that different preservatives and additives have different effects on people. For example, in an experiment in Turkey, it was found that potassium sorbate had an effect that was harmful to the DNA. It could even cause changes to human DNA. In another example, it was found that preservatives called sulfites could increase symptoms of asthma in patients, or could even cause asthma in patients which had not previously had the symptoms. In rare cases, it was also shown that it caused anaphylaxis, which is a disease whose symptoms include, but are not limited to, heart palpitations and collapse. Another preservative commonly found in foods that we eat is called monosodium glutamate. Its acronym is MSG, and it is loosely been related to many different symptoms which are harmful, which are largely coined as the monosodium glutamate or MSG symptom complex. Two of the absolute worst chemicals which are found in our foods are known as nitrates and nitrites. And unfortunately, these are found in most of the packaged meats that we eat today. They're extremely horrible for you because when nitrates enter the digestive system, they become nitrites, and then when they react with amines, which are naturally found in the body, they become nitroamines, which are also a type of carcinogen. Nitrites and nitrates have also been linked to heart diseases and diabetes. This specific example greatly emphasizes the next point which I'm trying to make, which is how specific chemicals can have even worse effects on children, as nitrates are a perfect example, as they exacerbate this effect. The nitrites can cause in extremely young children a disease called methahemoglobinemia, which is more easily called the blue baby syndrome. This term is called such because it causes the skin to turn blue and white from a lack of oxygen. This is more common in children because they transform the nitrates into nitrites easier, and therefore the hemoglobin in the body is changed into methahemoglobin by the nitrites, and therefore can no longer carry the oxygen which is circulated in the bloodstream as easily. In rare cases, this can also cause death. Another chemical and preservative, in this case an additive actually, which can cause adverse effects in children is the additive called sodium, which when it reacts with food coloring found in foods can cause increased levels of hyperactivity. In a 2003 Archives of Disease in Children experiment, 1,873 children were found to have increased levels of hyperactivity from this effect, from the effect of additives and preservatives. Other studies have shown the same type of effect, which causes the UK Food Standards Agency to promote that companies not use color additives in their foods, and that children with ADHD don't eat these preservatives. There are many alternatives and solutions, or even precautions, which people can take against these effects of the preservatives and additives. One of the easiest ones by far is just to look at what you're eating, look at the ingredients. You can easily look for foods with less preservatives or additives, and especially in the organic section of a food mart or even in an organic store, you can find extremely healthier foods. And be super cautious around meats, as they, like I said before, contain nitrates and nitrites. The stores are, or not stores necessarily, but companies are now also using cleaner preservatives, such as bacteria, which cleans against the harmful bacteria found in food by fighting it. And other processes include ohmic heating, in which an electric pulse travels through the food to clean it, high pressure cleaning, and bright light cleaning, in which white light is sent onto a food to clean off the surface of the food. However, if you use bright light cleaning, you want to make sure that it's cleaned further in, because bright light cleaning only hits the surface of food. Another process which is common, or should become common, is microbial inhibition, which it stores food in a condition in which less harmful bacteria is supposed to be able to grow. And it does this by regulating the composition of gases, by adding more carbon dioxide, taking out oxygen, etc. The solutions, again, reiterate how we need as a community to come together to stop eating nitrates, nitrites, sodium, all of the above, preservatives and additives. In conclusion, the adverse effects of preservatives and additives found in people, the specific effects found on children, and the many alternatives, solutions, and precautions that we can take against them make it only logical for us to stop buying and eating preservatives and additives. I challenge you to try to work to stop eating these harmful chemicals. Look at the ingredients of what you put into your mouth. Together we can come as a whole to stop this problem and to start eating better. Thank you.